with the National Cat Groomers here, and I am your host for this episode of Relax, It's Just Cat Grooming. I'm also a certified instructor for the National Cat Groomers, and I own my own cat-exclusive grooming salon in New Jersey, Catnaps Cattery. This is the show where we answer your most frequently asked questions about grooming cats and running a successful business doing it. So in today's episode, I want to be covering 1, how do you become a master cat groomer, just like me? Number 2, what do you do if the cat is trying to bite you? And number 3, what are the options for a super greasy, oily, slick kind of cat? So if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to join us down below in the comments, share where you're from, and make sure to hit a notifications button on our page so that you can get notified when we post new videos and content just like this. So let's go ahead and start. I want to keep today a little bit on the shorter side since we are revving up into holiday season. And honestly, some of these things are very straightforward. It's just practice, practice, practice. So the first one is how to become a master cat groomer. Well, really, here at NCGI, we kind of break that down into 3 simple steps because we know that you want to be a confident, kind of badass cat groomer that your clients will flock to. So the first step is you need to buy your study materials. So here with us, we do a syllabus package, and that includes books, DVDs, and online classes. Plus, you get free access to your step number 2, which is to join our student Facebook group. Within that group, you've got tons of support, lots of other students going through the exact same thing that you are doing. And then all of that is to lead you to step number 3, which is get certified as a cat groomer. So we want you to eventually lead to where you're a certified feline master groomer. So we have tons of reasons why and benefits, but that's not what we're going to go over in this little video. I just want to hint on a couple things that I brought up in the groups the other day, which is number 1 benefit of being a CFMG is confidence. We want you to feel confident when you get all types of cats into your grooming salon. Elderly cats, maybe health compromised cats, matted cats, young cats, new cats, cats that have never been groomed before. We want you to feel confident and to have a game plan. So part of the study process, the hands-on training process, and finally the certification process is all giving you the tools so you can be confident with cats that come in all the time. Wouldn't you love that? Wouldn't you love being confident instead of nail biting and worrying about this new cat that I'm not sure what's going to come up when they walk into the salon? No. We want you to be a confident cat groomer. That is the number 1 thing. And that's the number 1 bonus is really confidence. And the number 2 thing is I kind of want to touch on something that maybe isn't always brought to the forefront in the grooming kind of world, and it's because we all get into this because we love animals, but honestly, this is also a career for the majority of us. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you either are already a professional groomer or you want to be a professional cat groomer. So that means you gotta make some money because that's how you're going to pay your bills. Being a certified cat groomer and being a master cat groomer means that you can charge a premium price because you have invested into your education. So you can command higher prices because you're obviously going to be producing a higher quality groom and taking on cases that many other groomers might have to turn away because they just don't have the confidence and training needed in order to help those cats successfully. But there's also a bonus to being a CFMG, and that is that you can qualify as a vendor for what we call the Dirty Hair Project. That means you can sell dirty cat hair to a company that we have partnered with. In order to qualify for this program, you must be a CFMG with us. That is what they require in order for you to be a vendor. You can't get it any other way as a groomer. And so that means that all that dirty cat hair that you've just been shaving off and stuffing in a garbage bag, they will buy from you for $113 a pound. That's money. Let's be honest, that is money. And so that's just kind of a bonus to what you also get in addition to the lion cat. So in order to get to about about 1 pound, you're looking at 2 to 4 cats on average if they're getting full body haircuts. So thick, greasy, matted cats, their hair weighs a lot more, so that's certainly a bonus. If you're doing kind of simple, quick, and easy cats, then it might take you a little bit longer to accumulate enough in order to submit, but there are options available for you so that you can save up several months worth of hair and submit it all at once. But again, you have to be a CFMG in order to qualify. If you're already a CFMG for us and you have not signed up for the Dirty Hair Project, 1, what are you waiting for? But 2, make sure to email me at the office so I can get you the hookup. That's the whole point, right? We're gonna make some money while we're helping some cats. Fantastic. So those are my 2 little bonuses. But remember, to become a Master Cat Groomer, we only need you to do 3 things. 1, buy the syllabus. 2, join our private student Facebook group. And 3, get certified. Fairly straightforward, in my opinion. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next question, which is, what do you do if the cat is trying to bite you? What if they bite? So I have 2 main things that I would focus on for what to do if I think the cat is trying to bite me. So the first thing is, obviously I want to protect myself. And this is using things like I've already covered in previous episodes, which is the types of muzzles that I recommend, what to do with aggressive cats, as far as using towels. We love the air muzzle, love, love, love the air muzzle. If I feel like a cat is going to bite me, I'll put the air muzzle on. Fairly straightforward. There are also some other options, like we've already talked about, a thick towel or a smart practice, which makes the air muzzle, also makes an e-collar that is sometimes good for smaller cats. But the main thing is you want to protect yourself. This also means removing weapons. So obviously putting a muzzle on or using a big thick towel is going to protect you from the teeth, but we also want to protect you from the nails. And so we always trim nails as the first thing that we do on any cat when they come out for grooming. But I also have some aggressive cats that maybe are swatters. And so I've worked with the clients and we've decided that putting soft paws on, so the little nail caps, is sometimes a great option for the owner if the cat swats or scratches at home, but also when they come in, it's a great way for me to protect myself while I'm grooming, and it's a safe and easy option. So if I'm able to do a nail trim on a more aggressive cat that's coming in every 6 weeks, then I should be able to do nail caps without issue. So they kind of go on once you get the hang of it real quick. Pop, 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 we're good to go. And then I'm protected the rest of that groom. And then bonus, the client gets to go home with the nail caps already applied to their cat. They just have to come back every 4 to 6 weeks so we can do it all over again. So I always want to protect myself. But the second thing, which I think is so important, is that you need to learn how to predict and manage the cat's behavior, making good choices for each cat during every single groom, choosing an appropriate schedule, choosing appropriate techniques, choosing appropriate products and tools. Everything works together to make each groom successful. It's not one magic trick or one magic handling technique. You know, there's nothing that's one thing about it. It is a combination for every single groom. And that's why we provide so much information and hands-on training and support, because it is problem solving. We have to problem solve with this cat in order for it to be successful. And part of a successful groom is to avoid any kind of injury, both cat and the groomer. So that's really important. If you want some more tips, certifier and instructor Gracie Owen and I wrote an article together called But What If They Bite? It's literally at nationalcatgroomers.com/but-if-they-bite. What if they bite? And it'll give you some tips and some resources on what to do with predicting and managing aggressive cat behavior. So we are on a roll, so I'm going to go right into our third question for today, which is, what do you do with a super greasy cat? So I really think there's 3 things that help with dealing with this type of cat in the bath. Because let's be honest, if I have a super greasy cat that comes in, they get a bath. If I have a semi-greasy cat that comes in, they get a bath. I have a cat-only grooming salon. Do you know what is the percentage of cats that come into me that get a bath? 100. Everybody gets a bath. Every appointment, every time. I have a handful of cats that come in for nail trims or soft paws only in between their full grooms, but everybody's getting a bath. literally everybody, especially my more aggressive cats, my elderly cats. All those cats, they need it. They need it so badly. So, and then my aggressive cats, they need to be on a schedule, and the bath and blow dry is literally the easiest part of it. So that's why I do it. So if you need help with bathing techniques, then you can reach out to myself, or you can reach out to one of our approved trainers or certifiers. But I kind of feel that, like, just because if you're struggling with something doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be done safely. And so there's always more information to learn, someone else to talk to, and I really encourage you to reach out. If you're uncomfortable with bathing every single cat that comes into your salon, if you're doing any type of grooming on that cat, then you should have been able to bathe it safely, is kind of how I feel. I do it all the time. Danielle does it all the time. Tons of our CFMGs are doing it. So we know it can happen in order to make the best choices for that cat. The bath is almost always, well, it is always included with that. So in order to deal with super greasy cats, other than bathing them, is I want to look at products, techniques, and finally schedule of the cat. So the first thing is products. We primarily use Chubb's bars for our degreasing shampoos. I think they're fantastic. They do exactly what I need them to do. They're gentle, but they also are really, really thorough. So I love Chubb's bars. They were also designed with greasy cats in mind. So I mean, you can't really get any more specific than that for dealing with super greasy cats. But I will say with the Chubb's bars, there is a knack to learning it. Typically when we're bathing animals, dogs and cats, I mean, heck, even chickens, goats, horses, everybody, you kind of wet them down somewhat, and then you apply either the diluted shampoo or you pump it on your hands and you start scrubbing it in, but you only kind of semi got them wet. With Chubb's bars, it's really important to add a lot of water. So what I do is I do extra rinsing and saturating the coat before I even get my Chubb's bar out of my little soap holder. I want to make sure there's no dry spots. I've gotten all the way down to the skin, all up in those legs and nooks and crannies and bellies and chest and the kind of scruff neck area, because it's super, super dense hair, the tail, everything. I want it to be super wet. Then I bust out my Chubb's bar and scrub. And it should be a nice foamy, kind of like toothpaste looking lather. Like once you're like brushing your teeth and it's all kind of foamy, that's what it should look like. If you're not getting that kind of lather from the Chubb's bar, then you haven't put in enough water. And I found that if you're not adding enough water at the very beginning before you put the Chubb's bar on, then you're not going to get the best results afterwards. Okay, so we want to make sure we get super, super a lot of water. And as I'm scrubbing, if I'm not getting enough water, take my little hose, add a little bit more water to the lather so I can get it nice and soaped up, nice and scrubbed down all the way to the skin. If for some reason you don't have a Chubb's bar, so you're last minute, got a cat coming in, he comes in, he's an oil slick, and you don't know what to do because you're staring at this cat and you can't order a Chubb's bar. You only have your liquid shampoos. If I'm using liquid shampoos, at that point, I will do almost the complete opposite. Instead of wetting the coat thoroughly before adding the Chubb's bar, I will not add any water and take my liquid shampoo and add it directly to the greasy spots. So usually base of the tail, up along the back where the stud tail is, maybe down the legs. And I'll go ahead and put my liquid shampoo right where I want it to and rub it in, really kind of get it down to the skin where I need it to be, and then just let it marinate for a minute or two just to start breaking down those extra oils before I add water, scrub, rinse it all off, and then do my normal bath. That I found will do a good degreasing job. Also, it may or may not be as thorough as the Chubb's bar, but I do find that the technique is different. So you've got products, you've got good technique, and that's the other thing. You have to make sure you are scrubbing where all those little nooks and crannies are. So cats are notorious for, they lay and they bend their legs up close to their body. So all down the legs, in the crooks, in the bends, all of that is going to be super oily and greasy. So you really make sure that you got to scrub and get your product all up in there while you're bathing. And same thing, base of the tail, up the back. Those are notoriously greasy areas. So really good idea to focus on getting that nice and clean down to the skin. Focus on getting clean skin, and the hair will just come with it. Don't worry about, focusing on the hair. Focus on the skin. That's where those excess oils are originating from. Finally, the third thing that I keep in mind for my super greasy cats is their grooming schedule. A once-a-year groom may not solve a year's worth of grooming problems or multi-years worth of grooming problems. So if they come in and it's their first groom ever and I've done all of my degreasing products and techniques, because you don't want to overdo it and irritate the skin, but it still doesn't look great, then I really want to make sure that they start getting on a more frequent grooming schedule, because that is going to prevent so much excess oil from building up on the skin and coat over time. So start them with a 6 to 8 week grooming schedule. You might have to bump it up to every month, depending on the cat, depending on their needs, depending on what they look like, and depending on what the client is trying to get out of grooming. Are they looking at reducing allergy symptoms? Are they reducing hair? Are we trying to prevent tangles? Is the cat getting a really messy bum? I do a couple cats who have like megacolon, and they come in very frequently because we want to keep their rear ends nice and clean and tidy so they don't get irritated. What is going on? That should all factor into the grooming schedule. And so if you start, say, with 8 to 12 weeks and it's just not doing it, start asking the client, well, when did you notice a change? How long are you noticing the groom last for you? And then adjust the schedule based on what they're noticing. It'll be a lot easier to get them on board with that frequent bath schedule, nail schedule, degreasing schedule, the whole kit and caboodle, if they are actively involved in their cat's care. So that will wrap up today's kind of short episode. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. We've got the holidays coming up if you're watching this in the winter time, and I hope all of you have a safe and fantastic holiday. If you have questions, please make sure to leave them in the comments so I can answer them for you, or possibly even address them in a future episode of Relax, It's Just Cat Grooming.